Hi, this is going to be a demo on how to apply for our Master of Education in Special Education. And just as a precursor to this program does not lead to initial teacher licensure. However, for this particular program, we do have 3 tracks available to choose from. The first being the Interdisciplinary track, which has a leadership focus in special education, which only admits every fall semester. Or we have our literacy specialist track, which only admits in the summer. And then we also have a board certified behavior analyst track, which admits every semester. And so you're going to need to be able to choose which track you are in fact applying for, so that way you know exactly which semester to select. In terms of eligibility, it's pretty much the same across programs. You do have to have a GPA of 3.0 or higher. That is a Manoa system requirement for all the graduate programs. You need to already have a bachelor's degree in a related field. If it's not in a related field, you can contact us about whether or not you would still qualify. And then you do need to have experience already in working with individuals with disabilities for these tracks. The only one that has a kind of a special requirement would be the literacy specialist, which does prefer that you have 3 years of teaching experience prior to applying. However, all the other ones, it's just as long as you do have some kind of experience, you're going to attest to that when you write your statement of objectives as part of your application. But anyway, so the application for the UH system will be the same regardless of which of these tracks you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and do a video demonstration of that. So when you go to your browser tab, you're just going to go to apply.hawaii.edu. And then you're going to go over here to this university side and choose Manoa Graduate, which will take you to the application. Now, if you are a prior UH student, then you may know your login ID, but it's pretty rare that someone can remember their PIN because it's a series of 6 numbers, so it's not the same as your password. So you can try. If you remember it, go ahead and log in that way. However, if you don't worry about it. You can actually just go ahead and create a new login ID and PIN number. That's a lot easier than trying to recover your PIN number. That might take some time. I'm not quite sure how they even respond to that. And so my recommendation is go ahead and just create a new login ID and PIN number. Make sure you write it down somewhere so that you can refer back to it if you need to get back into your application. I do have a login ID that I'm going to use for the demonstration, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Again, remember that your password, or your PIN number, sorry, is 6 numbers. And then push login. If you haven't applied in a long time, you'll most likely just be taken straight into the application. However, I'm doing a lot of demonstrations, so I will just have to go down here and click new. All right, so this is where everyone's going to enter. So make sure for your institution, you select University of Hawaii Manoa, which is second from the bottom. And then your site will always be the UH Manoa main campus, even though this program is a distance education program. So push continue. Application type. Now this is where it will be different depending on which track you choose. So again, if you're doing the interdisciplinary, you're going to want to choose fall. If you're doing the literacy specialist, you're going to want to choose summer. And if you're doing the board certified behavior analyst, you're just going to choose whichever semester you are planning on applying for. So I'll just go ahead and choose fall admissions for the purposes of the demo. So again, your admission term, just make sure it falls with when you're actually applying. For your name, just make sure you use proper capitalization. They give kind of examples up here. And then say fill out application. Okay, so for the UH Manoa system application, it's actually pretty straightforward, and it doesn't take that long to do. It has 10 different components. What I'm going to do is, instead of going through each one, I'm just going to kind of show you some tricks and tips related to filling this out. So under name, if you have used a different name in the past, if your name has changed in any way, you can go ahead and list that here. That way, if they receive transcripts or anything under a different name, they'll know to connect it to your application. So we'll make sure that you include it there. For your address, if your permanent address and your mailing address is exactly the same, then when you fill out your permanent one, go ahead and just check this box, and it will prevent you from having to fill out the same thing twice. However, if your mailing address is different, then you're going to want to go ahead and put that in here. I'm going to skip personal information. That's where you're going to put in ethnicity, social security numbers, things like that. But for citizenship-related data, don't start clicking out these boxes because if you are a citizen, which will be the case for this program, then you actually just skip this page by going ahead and clicking continue. This information is only for those that are international students that are looking for visas. So go ahead and just click continue to move forward. It'll take you to the Residency Declaration. Everyone needs to complete Section A. This is how you will be, declaring what your residency tuition is. Although this is an online program, so everyone will be paying the resident tuition rate. However, just fill this out. So Section A, you'll fill out. Section A2, you're actually going to skip because that's only for those who are 17 and being claimed by their parents. So just skip it, go to Section B. If you've attended an institution outside of Hawaii in the past year, you click yes and choose one of these. However, if you haven't, go ahead and click no and just skip down to this Section C. Everyone needs to complete Section C. This is for tuition differentials. So if you are working for the UH system, you can click this one. If you're Hawaiian but you're living in another state, you can click this one, and then the rest are kind of related to more military, active duty, things like that. So if you do qualify under any of these, go ahead and select it. Otherwise, a majority of people will most likely just be clicking none of the above exemptions apply to me, but you do have to select one to move forward. So I'm just going to go back to the checklist. For your planned course of study, you're going to go down to special education, which is right here, and choose Special Education MED, which means the Master of Education. So click that. You do need to respond to this one, which just says that if you miss the application deadline, there's a chance that you will not be admitted based on that. And you just need to say, yes, I understand. And what's a little strange is you need to click on this box that says enter concentration. But what you'll see happen is there's actually no options listed. And so this is where you would assume you are going to choose interdisciplinary literacy specialist or board certified behavior analyst, but they don't list anything as an option. So just leave it as is and move forward. Where you will be declaring your track will actually be within our College of Education application. So don't worry about it, just leave that for now and push continue. You're going to look up your high school. It's pretty easy. You just go in, you choose the state that you're from, or if you went to somewhere outside of the United States, you can click on the country. However, you just need to do one of these. So push next. Then you can choose your city. You can choose, and then drop down, choose your school. And what's nice is that it's automatically going to populate it for you here. And so all you have to do is actually just put in the month and year that you graduated. And you don't need to worry about transcripts. We don't need that for high school. So you just push continue. And then you're going to do the exact same thing for all of the colleges that you have attended. So just keep in mind, if you've attended anything within the UH system, so UH system being UH Manoa, UH Hilo, UH West Oahu, or any of the community colleges, you're not going to need to submit transcripts for those. You'll just need to fill this out that you attended there. So whenever you put in institution, you need to put your GPA. Don't worry if you don't know it exactly. You can go ahead and put an estimate. They're going to verify it once they receive your transcripts. You just need to say, when you went there, and if you did earn a degree at that institution, just choose the degree that you received. You can't fill out both of these. So this box is only if your degree option is not listed in here. So if you try to choose something and then you also list something here, you're going to get an error message. But you need to put every institution you've ever attended, and make sure that if it's outside of the UH system, you do have to submit an official transcript, even if you've submitted it in the past. So just make sure you do that. And then when you're done, push continue, that's it. You're going to pay the UH Manoa graduate tuition application fee, which is $100. And then once everything is done, you push continue and you can actually put your credit card information and submit it online. And that's it. And then I will do